Coming up on this week's Falcon Fever, 2 tennis standouts get postseason honors for their work both on and off the court. Find out who they are and what they won.
And we go to bat with UM's baseball coach, Chandler Rose, and tee off with the golf team's coach, Justin Pratt.
And in this week's Spirit Spotlight, we have a rare interview with Freddie the Falcon and go behind the scenes with UM's cheerleaders.
And of course, we will have all your baseball updates from the past week. Falcon Fever starts now. Hello and welcome to Falcon Fever. I'm Lauren Altaffer.
And I'm Chloe Allen. Thanks so much for joining us. Let's get things swinging with news from the tennis court. The women's tennis team hit the road Saturday to Young Harris, Georgia, where they dominated the Young Harris Lions in a 7-2 match. The team won 2 of the 3 doubles matches and 5 of the 6 singles matches. In the singles match, Nikki Polsarova won 6-3 and 6-2. Lucia Smizide also won second singles matches and an impressive 6-1, 6-1 win. Anais Robert had to forfeit her number 3 singles match, and Allison Howell was victorious in the number 4 singles match, winning 3 sets. Haley Highfield won number 5 singles 6-1, 6-1, and at number 6 singles, Juanita Osa dominated 6-3 and 6-1. Great job, Falcons. The team then went on to face the University of North Georgia Nighthawks, and despite their 5-4 loss, the Falcons were able to clinch a spot in their first ever Peach Belt Conference tournament. The Falcons won 3 singles matches and 1 doubles match against the Nighthawks. The Falcons' 6 Peach Belt Conference victories during the regular season set a new program record for most wins in a conference play since Montevallo joined the conference. Congratulations to the Falcons. After their loss against North Georgia, the team tried their hand against Columbus State at Florence, South Carolina. The Falcons played in the quarterfinal this afternoon and fell to the Cougars 5-2. This leaves the team in the number 7 seed in the tournament.
Members of UM's tennis team are being honored for their work both on and off the court. Junior Nikki Polsarova and senior Haley Highfield were honored at the Peach Belt Conference Awards banquet on April 16th. Polsarova was named second team all-conference. She made history as the first tennis player to win postseason honors since Montevallo joined the Peach Belt Conference. Meanwhile, Haley Highfield received the Elite 15 award for her 4.0 GPA. The Elite 15 award recognizes the individual with the highest academic profile in the Peach Belt. Congratulations, Nikki and Haley.
As the school year is winding down, we wanted to take a deeper look at one of the biggest events to happen in athletics this past year.
That's right. We're talking about the return of Freddie the Falcon. There was a lot of hype about revealing the new redesigned mascot, and Freddie has been seen at many university events this year.
Definitely. Freddie's return to really boosted the spirit at sporting events. But he's not the only one who's getting the crowd fired up.
Of course, we're talking about the cheerleading team, which also gets the Falcon faithful on their feet. Falcon Fever's Amos Hollenhead and Sydney Fields joins us in the studio for an in-depth look into Freddie and the cheerleading squad in this week's Spirit Spotlight. Hi, guys.
Thanks, Lauren. Freddie and the cheerleaders have done a great job supporting our athletic teams.
And we've tried to highlight a lot of our teams right here on our show. However, there is one Falcon that we have not acknowledged for a while, and that is Freddie the Falcon. Ever since his return last October, Freddie has been leading the way in cheering for all of our athletic teams. I caught up with our favorite Montevallo Falcon to get his feelings and thoughts on his first year back at home. I have a real special treat for Montevallo today. I have right here our very own Freddie the Falcon here rolling in with his little ducky, his friend right here. And he's coming right in just to get a talk to you about Montevallo and everything that's been going on. And but he has something right here. What do you want? Oh, he's saying go follow Freddie. Go follow him on Twitter and Facebook. There goes his Twitter and Facebook information right there. So please go and follow our very own Freddie the Falcon. He will love you and appreciate you for it. But right here, Freddie, it's great to have you back here at Montevallo. And I wanted to ask you my first question. How happy is Freddie you now that you've returned back to the University of Montevallo? You're happy, you're excited, you're so great to be back, and it's great to have you back, Freddie. It's so great to have you back. And my next question, how have you impacted the support of Falcon fans, getting them back to athletic events? You want them all to come and support our Falcon fans, whether with any sport. You just want them to come and support and cheer as they go on. Yes. The more the merrier. The more the merrier. And yes, there we go. That spirit is something that we always need and cherish. Freddie, what is your favorite part about going to athletic events and interacting with the fans and interacting with the teams? Go Falcons. Yeah, you never know who needs that support. Our teams always need that support, and that's why you're here, Freddie, to give us that extra boost that nobody has. Nobody has. You're special. You are very special. And with that, you've been a tremendous support person. What are you going to do next year? What are you going to do? Maybe you have a three-point shooting contest for anybody, or maybe do a slam dunk contest. Oh, well, you're an all-around athlete. You're an all-around athlete. You can do it all, can you? You can even fly if you wanted to, right? That's why he's Freddie the Falcon, ladies and gentlemen. That's why he's Freddie the Falcon. And my last question to you, Freddie, is you have great dance moves because you've been seen doing skits with the cheerleaders and stuff like that. Can you show me some dance moves? Can you show me some right now? Because I can't dance. I want to dance just like you. All right. I'm getting the elbows. Oh, it's in the hips. It's in the hips, right? It's in the hips. Oh. Yeah, all right. I'm trying. Getting the crowd ready. Yeah. Thank you. I tried. You have all the moves. I'm just gonna stick to reporting. But Freddie, it was wonderful getting this interview with you. Thank you so much. Can I have a hug? Can I? Oh, thank you so much. And that has been an interview with our very own Freddie the Falcon. He's back and he's here to stay. Reporting for Falcon Fever, I'm Amos Hollandhead. Thank you so much, Freddie, and go Falcons. It's great to have Freddie the Falcon back where he belongs, and luckily for our Falcon fans, they come to see him dance instead of me. And speaking of dance moves, cheerleading is starting to make some moves off the floor, right, Sydney?
Yes, there are some major movements happening with the cheerleading department. Head coach Meredith Waldrop resigned. I spoke to a couple of cheerleaders about her impact on the squad and what they hope to see in their next coach. 2014 has brought many changes in Montevallo's athletic department. Lindsay Vanover was named the first ever head coach of Montevallo's softball team. Athletic director Jim Herlihy left Montevallo to become the athletic director at St. Anselm College in Manchester, New Hampshire. And the most recent change, Montevallo's head cheerleading coach Meredith Waldrop has resigned. Senior Carly Lang, who has been a cheerleader since Coach Waldrop started, has seen major improvements in the program.
I think it's grown a lot. When I came on, we weren't considered athletes. We didn't get scholarship money. The whole time the university had ever had cheerleaders, we'd never competed. And in her time here, which is only 4 years, which isn't that long, we've got scholarships every year. We competed. The first time universities ever competed was during her time here. And we were listed as athletes, and we kind of switched into the athletic programs.
Sophomore Lauren Acker says there are a few things that she'd like to see in her next coach.
Just really someone that's willing or going to come to the squad with uplifting spirits and everything, and not someone that's just going to come and be negative all the time. Just anyone positive, because we really do have a really fun time as the cheer squad. So just someone that's willing to have fun with us.
Even though Carly is about to graduate, she says she still has hopes for next year's cheerleading squad.
I've enjoyed cheering here, and I really hope that the program doesn't go backwards. I hope they keep moving forwards even after I'm gone.
I really do hope that the cheerleading squad does continue to grow and move forward, because the spirit in Montevallo is really what we're known for. And I think that especially with Freddie being back, we're really in a good spot for Montevallo's spirit to be at the peak.
Right. That's all we have from the Spirit Spotlight. Let's take it to the Diamond now with Lauren and Chloe.
Thanks, guys. Now let's hit the field for some baseball updates. In their first of 4 games in 5 days, the University of Montevallo was able to avenge a loss from earlier this season, defeating the University of North Alabama 4-2. Pitching was key for both the Falcons and the Lions in the game, as there were only 4 extra base hits recorded between the two teams. From the top of the 5th, the 4-2 score held up for the rest of the game as the bullpen came in big for the Falcons down the stretch. Joey Hume took over in the bottom of the 5th. He allowed no runs and recorded 2 strikeouts in 1 2/3 innings. The Falcons have only 1 day to rest before their homestand this weekend. They play a 3-game series against North Georgia with a game on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They take on their PBC foe first on April 18th. The first pitch is set for 7 p.m. Next week, Montevallo has another home game on Wednesday against West Alabama. While on the topic of baseball, I actually had the chance to talk with head coach Chandler Rose about the rest of this season and what the offseason looks like for him and his team. Take a look. I'm here with Chandler Rose, and he's going to tell us about how the team's doing this year.
Yeah, things have been very up and down for us this year. We started out really well early in the season and just been really inconsistent as of late, but still playing well at times, and hopefully we can keep that rolling here as we get towards the end of the season and moving towards postseason.
Great. Well, you know, whenever you're with your coaching staff, what are you looking for? Like, what are you looking to bring to the team?
You know, the biggest thing is we're just looking for some energy and them to continue the effort that we've been getting out of them. You know, it's been a long season, getting towards the end of the year here with a lot of practices and games, and, you know, we've really been going since September, being a spring sport. So, you know, late here in the year, hopefully they can keep the same energy level that they've had, and we can keep getting the same effort out of them and carry that onto the field.
Great. And, you know, you talk about games and when things aren't going your way, how do you change that? How do you keep them positive?
Well, we just got to keep working. I mean, it's a long season, a lot of ups and downs in baseball, especially in a 50-game season. And you know, the best thing we can do is you know, take one game at a time, one day at a time, and come out here to practice and keep working on the things that we haven't done well, and hopefully we can, you know, fix those things and do a better job with the next game we play.
And so far, 2014 has been a solid season. So what do you look for, or what do you hope for 2015?
You know, we've got a lot of young guys on this team, and you know, the program's in a really good place, and I hope we can continue the success we've had the last couple of years. I hope the young kids keep learning, and you know, certainly this year's not over with by any means yet. We still got a lot of season left ahead of us. So hopefully we finish this year strong and carry that momentum again into next year, kind of like we did this year, and just keep the program moving in the right direction and keep us on the national map like we've had the last couple of years.
And what's this off-season going to look like for you?
Well, you know, when the season's over for us as coaches, summer's really heavy recruiting time for us. So there's not much of an off-season for the coaching staff. For the players, you know, a lot of them will be playing summer ball. I think we've got somewhere around 15 to 20 of them going to play summer ball all over the country. So there's not a lot of time off for these guys. Season will end, and they'll be all over the country. We got guys in California and Minnesota and New York and Wisconsin and Ohio and Virginia. We've got them all over the country this summer, continue to try to get better. And we'll keep recruiting and finding players throughout the summer, and then, you know, when school starts in August, we'll get back after it again.
Great. Well, thank you. This is Chandler Rose, head coach for baseball, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
The season's not over, so be sure to come out and support your Falcons in their final games.
Now let's catch up with the women's track and field team. As a showtime this Thursday, the women's track and field team is competing in Rome, Georgia at Shorter University for the Peach Belt Conference Championship. Make sure to follow Falcon Fever on Twitter and Facebook for updates of the results of Day 1 competition.
Now it's time to hit the greens with some golf news. After a successful season, both the men and women's golf teams head to Callaway Gardens in Pine Mountain, Georgia this weekend for the Peach Belt Conference Championship Tournament. The men will play the Mountain View course and the women will play the Lakeview course.
Falcon Fever's Haley Myers joins us now with more about UM's golf teams.
Hi, Haley, and congrats on making your first on-air experience with us here on the show.
Thank you, guys. I'm so excited to be here. Montevallo's golf teams have had a great season so far, and I was able to catch up with And I was able to catch up with Justin Pratt, head coach of both the men and women's golf teams, to talk about their season, their achievements, and what he expects from the PPC Championship Tournament this weekend. I'm here with Justin Pratt, head coach of both the men and women's golf teams. How are you doing today?
Doing great, thank you.
Good. All right. The first question I would like to ask is, how did your coaching career start?
I played. I was an athlete in college, and I was fortunate enough to play professionally after college. And when I got done playing, I just started coaching, fell in love with it, and I guess the rest, they say, is history. So I've been coaching ever since.
Awesome. So are there any challenges coaching both men and women? Do you have any different techniques that you use for the two teams?
I wouldn't say there's any challenges, but there definitely is a difference between the two. And so you kind of have to adjust a little bit how you coach each one. And I wouldn't say I do that perfect all the time, but there are definitely some big differences in, how you talk to them and, the discipline and structure and things of that nature that benefit both of them differently.
Right. Okay. And so with the men coming in 10th at the Buccaneer Invitational and the women ranked number 25 in Division II, what would you think their outcome will be of the Peach Belt Conference coming up this weekend?
I think both of them are really they're playing well at the right time, which is good. The men had also, I think, a 4th or 5th place finish at Landers tournament right before the tournament in Miami, and we have 3 or 4 of them starting to play really well. And so really this time of the year, it's just about getting, them playing well at the right time, and they're starting to peak going into the conference championship. So it'll be interesting to see, how they play, and I think they'll do pretty well.
All right, awesome. And since this is the last tournament of the season, what will you do in your spare time? Do you have any hobbies?
I guess my hobby is playing golf. So this summer I'm probably going to play in a couple amateur tournaments and spend a lot of time recruiting for 2015 and 16 and gearing up for when everybody comes back in the fall. So the summer is a little less travel, but there's still a lot of work that has to get done. So yeah, a lot of recruiting, a little bit of playing, and then a lot of getting ready for the fall.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For live stats on the tournament, go to the Montevallo website, click on the Athletics tab, go to Schedules, and click on either men or women's golf. Scroll down to the bottom and click on the live stats link. Good luck to our Falcons this weekend.
Now, Haley's profile on Coach Pratt isn't the only story she's got for us.
That's right. You also pulled double duty this week to bring us this week's featured Falcon. Who is it this time?
Our featured Falcon this week is Joseph Fuller, president of the Bass and Angler Fishing Team. I was able to catch up with him to talk about their past season and also the fundraising event they just held this past weekend. I'm here today with Joseph Fuller, president of the University of Montevallo's Bass and Anglers Association. How are you doing today?
Doing good, thank you.
Good. So, how is the fishing team first formed?
Well, back in 2007, Clint Davis was a member here of this university, and he loved to fish and fished the Coosa River a lot, and so he just decided that he wanted to start a fishing team here, and it's become a growing sport, and now there's over 622 schools nationwide with fishing teams.
Wow. Do you compete with like all of these different schools?
Unlike NCAA, there's no divisions in this, so everybody just competes against each other.
Okay, that's really cool. So is it strictly like a bass and angler like association? Like, do you only catch those fish, or do you catch other fish as well?
No, you only catch bass. There's 3 main species we go after. We go after spotted bass, largemouth bass, and smallmouth bass.
Okay. So how did you become a part of the fishing team? Like, did you try out? Did somebody like say, hey, you're a good fisher and we want you, or?
Well, back when I first started, we don't have tryouts, at least at this university. You don't. Some schools do that have a lot of members, but I just heard about it, and some friends told me I should, check it out and look into it, and so I did. I contacted Clint, and he was like, yeah, come on and let's, join the team. So I did.
Okay. So how did you become president of the team?
Well, after Clint graduated, my fishing partner at the time, Joe Hanley, he took over as president. It passed to him, and so he led it for about 2 years, and then he just graduated this past December, and so then I took over as president for the next year.
Okay. So I know that you held a fundraiser tournament this weekend, so what all did that include? Like, was there like certain activities that you guys held, or was it just like a fishing just a fishing thing?
Well, we held it on Lake Mitchell this year. The past 2 years it was on Lay Lake. So we get out there at 4 in the morning, and people start showing up at 4 a.m. to register for the tournament. And we get their names, and they pay their dues for the tournament. And then we do blast off at like 6:15 is when we did it. And then that afternoon, the Alumni Association provides some money for us, and they give us the money for the barbecue. So we have barbecue, baked beans, chips, coleslaw, drinks for them when they get in off the water at 3 in the afternoon because they're really hungry. And so we do that, and then we feed them, and then weigh the fish and determine who the winner is.
Wow, that's really cool. So did you raise a lot of money to help support your team?
Yeah, we raised a little over $1,000, so that'll help a lot, that's for sure.
Good. Okay, so my last question for you is, what is the biggest fish you have ever caught?
Well, this past January, I was down in Florida at Lake Okeechobee fishing the Carhartt Bassmaster College Series, and I caught an 8.5-pound bass down there, so it was a really big fish.
Wow, that's huge. All right, well, thank you so much again for doing this with me. I hope you have a great day. If you would like more information about the fishing team, like their Facebook page at the University of Montevallo Bass and Anglers Association.
Thanks, Haley. Now it's time for our Falcon Fever Fan of the Week.
This week's fan is Cindy Holsenbeck. Thank you for your support for our Falcons, and congratulations on being named Falcon Fever Fan of the Week.
Remember, Falcon Fever is available at your fingertips 24/7.
To see current and past episodes of Falcon Fever, including past player and coaching profiles, just go to YouTube and subscribe to the Montevallo channel, Montevallo For You.
And you can connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to see pictures from UM Athletics events and behind the scenes of our show. We can also post score updates and recaps throughout the week, so be sure to check out all of our social media pages.
And last but not least, you can get extended UM sports coverage on MontevaloFalcons.com. There you'll find schedules, team rosters, live stats, and more. And that's all the time we have for this Falcon Fever.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to tune in again next week for our final show of spring semester.